What's up, guys? Brandon Lewis here, multitasking. I'm walking and drinking with Brandon. That's what this episode is. I'll throw the BS sessions in at the end. That's really what people come here for. And in the middle, it is my plan to talk to you about what I'm calling the painter's profitability pulse check. Or you could call it the Prosperous Painter's pulse check. That's what I'm going to go with. Because today I had a long day. I'm getting ready for this boot camp, which I'll tell you about later. I did 3 diagnostics, one for like a $1.9 million company, one for $500,000, a young couple, and they've been at it a long time, about $500,000, and then a gentleman who is at about $80,000, and it's his first year. Okay, so I saw it all. I saw a married couple. I saw a younger gentleman and an older gentleman. So just everything in between. There goes my wife. You believe that? She just drove past me. Not so much as a bow your leave, governor. That's how they do you. No, she's going back to the house. She's been homeschooling our kids all day long, and so I got to go for a walk. Just get out of the office. But nonetheless, I had these 3 diagnostics today, which are mentally taxing. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. Oh, you're just sitting at a desk talking to people. You're trying to extract these numbers out of y'all. They're usually guesses, or the numbers aren't known, or they're not being tracked or measured, or they're bad. not all the time, but I mean, that's what I see all the time. So I'm doing that. And every time I look at a business, I don't care how big they are or how small they are, I look for the same things, because these 3, 5, $10 million companies come to me that are in trouble, and I love helping them. But they always expect that there's going to be some real complicated, strategic, unknown, nuanced thing that's got them stuck where they are. And it's never that. It's always it's the basics. This is a football, right? I think that's what Vince Lombardi's first training lesson was when he took over the failing team. I don't know that much about sports, but I remember this story. And it was essentially saying, hey, listen, Green Bay Packers, I think. I hope so. Or if not, I'm going to get in trouble with the sports fans out there. But nonetheless, I mean, his whole approach was, we are not executing well on the basics. And so when people are in financial trouble, when their day-to-day life is hectic, it's always the basics, and here are the basics. This is your pulse check. What you want to say, I'm going to list out a number of these. I'm not going to keep count of them, okay? You keep count of them. I got enough to do today. But I'm going to list them out, and then you need to ask yourself, okay, he's just talked about all this stuff. Do I have this stuff in place, and are the numbers good, and am I doing this as good as I could? So here are the ones basically in order. I may mess some stuff up, but it's basically in order. So first thing's time management. If you're like, I can't control my time, I can't set aside time to work on my business, I can't my time, like you can't figure out how to manage your time, which is 80 some odd % of painting contractors in trouble. It is like the root cause. If you don't pass this test, you can't even get to the rest of them, because you won't have the time to do anything. So time management is number 1. Can you set aside 4 to 8 hours a week to exclusively work on improving your business, not doing mundane administrative stuff or operation stuff or being on the end of a brush, but like, can you put time in? Job costing, are you doing it? Do you even know what it is? If you couldn't email me the last 5 reports and tell me what your gross profits and your effective charge rate is and the variance, you don't do job costing. And this, I keep it in my head stuff, is for the birds. Production rates, got to have them. Can't be guessing how long it takes to do stuff. Can't be using square footage pricing. Doesn't work. It's got all kinds of fallbacks. I can't tell you about all of them in this one video. And then, do you talk to your customers? Mail, email, phone, and text. 2 reactivation campaigns a year, mailed and emailed newsletters in between. What are your repeat and referral numbers? The persuasive aspects of your sales process. It's another one. Are you emailing in a PDF and petting the dog and doing automated follow-up exclusively? It's better than nothing, but I mean, you're not selling beans on Amazon. This is a $15,000, $20,000, $8,000 job. We're going to try to sell it in an impersonal manner. I don't think so. Without much proof, with no documentation, no collateral, no pre-positioning, no post-positioning, no follow-up. Money on the table. It's got to be in place. But that's the first stop. That's what we call the first phase. I'm not going to get through all the phases, and I'm going to start abridging them toward the end. Second phase is the ultimate crew leader packet. Basically, what are the systems that you use to empower your crew leads to run jobs without you going to the job in a way that brings the project in on budget, keeps the clients happy, where there's paperwork completed and it doesn't have to be complicated, and there's no lying, cheating, or stealing on the job. Well, I just verbally give them instructions. I text them some this, that, and the other. I print off a work order. That's it. That doesn't work. Work orders like the bare minimum ante. Anything less is just asking for trouble, and even the bare minimum gets you in trouble. Project management and scheduling. What are the systems you use from your office to schedule projects, get stuff done, etc. And then crew meetings. How do you conduct them? What's the scoreboard? What are the incentives, both monetarily, corporately, and individually, to get these people to perform and to follow company policy? Is that in place? Do you have some save labor bonus or performance pay program where you align the profitability of your company with the pay of your employees or your subs? Is that in place? Do you have an administrative assistant that can help you free up some time doing routine things in sales and marketing and operations and customer intake, so that you can take 20 hours that used to be doing that stuff and do something that's more high value? What else we got here? Cash flow projection sheet. People don't know how much money they're making. I kid you not. How much did that just takes? That's a 15-minute question for most painting contractors. How much money did you earn last year? Well, I'm like, good grief. I mean, this is the whole reason you're in the business. And then I don't have time to break these down. Recruitment and hiring. If you don't have some kind of process to attract a bunch of leads, to test their technical skills in 30 minutes or less, and to test their non-technical skills before you hire them in a way that sets expectations, puts you in a better position to succeed, you got to be able to get the capacity. And then we get into B2B referral marketing systems, commercial repaint, lead acquisition systems, which is what the Commercial Repaints Bootcamp is all about. I think people are fools for not coming to this thing. I do. I want some commercial repaints, Brandon. We really want to get into commercial repaints. Would you spend any money to learn how? Oh no, man. Not this year. You don't understand with the economy, and we don't know what the election's going to do. I'm like, people's wants and their desires are so far afield from what little bit of time and effort it would take to achieve them. I mean, it doesn't take much to keep a painter out of a pumpkin patch. I mean, you just put up a fence about knee high, a little bit of money, a little bit of time. Ain't nobody else going to climb over that fence in our industry. So that's why the smart ones, hopefully like you, are like, you know what? I'm going to go out here and do this stuff these other guys won't get, because they'll never get into these accounts, because it takes a little bit of work. Mental work. People don't like mental work. They'll dig a ditch all day, but they won't do mental work. So commercial, getting into commercial, working events, associations, various campaigns to various vertical markets. You don't have to have those. It's kind of like icing on the cake. All that kind of stuff, basically, right? The fundamentals. And you know, when you're learning how to paint, you don't learn how to paint. You learn how to roll out a wall, how to load a roller, how to clean a roller, how to run caulk on various objects, how to prime, how to patch. And each individual skill is its own thing, right? Like there's no such thing as teach me how to paint. Well, no, I can teach you these component parts that are part of painting, and if you get really good at those and can sequence them, you can be efficient and effective and earn good money. And so these business systems are also discrete, standalone skills. And as an owner, if you go through life and you never pick any of them up, you will be poorer and more frustrated than you could be otherwise. Hope I don't get ran over. This will be my last walking with Brandon. And I'm wearing all black, which is real smart out here in the country. So that's that. Long day of diagnostics, sorting through that list. It's a lot more complicated, a lot more metrics. So count them up. How many were there? When in doubt, split them up. If you can't tell if I stopped with one and started with another. And then just write down, like, how many of these do I have? I don't seem to have any of these. Well, maybe that's why things are like they are. It's pretty simple. You work on the same type of business over and over again, it becomes pretty simple, right? If it ain't getting simple, then you must not really understand it. All right, guys. I'm getting into my busy season. What's going on? These are the BS sessions. What's been going on with Brandon Lewis? And what's on my mind? So we did that painter political opinion survey, which I'm going to send out, which some people will be happy about and others won't. I knew what it would be, more or less. And it mirrors data from 4 years ago. Stand by, that's coming. So that's interesting. This boot camp's interesting. Getting ready for the Painting Profit Summit, which is the last weekend in January. It's keeping me busy. And then we just have a lot of people calling into the office these days. As soon as it starts getting a little bit cold, y'all people start working on your business. And y'all only do it really in earnest for about 4 months, and then you quit. Because you're busy during the rest of the year. And so I am really busy during that 4 months and not as busy in the middle of the summer. Super slow in the middle of the summer, which I like. So that's going on. Had a great Halloween party the other night. Man, I mailed it in. I put a sheet over my head, cut 2 holes in it, stenciled some words on it, put a cowboy hat on, and went as a ghost. It's the least amount of effort I think I've ever put into a Halloween costume. Therefore, I did not win any prizes at my friend Eric's party. We are going trick-or-treating in the Calabrese neighborhood. So that should be a lot of fun. And this weekend, I hope, I just get to stay at home. But I don't get to stay at home. I'm going to Blue Ridge, Georgia, with a whole bunch of my friends for my birthday. So I've done that for 15 years now, probably 13 to 15. I think more like 15. So it's important to have these recurring dates on your calendar where you get together with your friends, or otherwise you lose touch with people. And that has been a lifelong skill that has served me well in life, in politics. Not everybody would agree with that. In painting, it's just maintaining relationships, because I genuinely do want to know how people are doing, and I just think it's sad how many relationships you invest time in for a period or a season of your life, and then they end. I don't like it to end, personally. You can't keep them all alive, but sometimes all it takes to keep them alive is hitting a lick here and there, getting together a few times a year. You know, the occasional text and call. Some people are real easy to reconnect with, and it's well worth your time when you do it. So if you got somebody, some friend, some family member, and they fall in that characteristic, get on your phone, do an old-fashioned phone call. I think I'm the only person that still calls people and leaves messages. I do. I like talking to people. Probably a little too much. All right, guys. We're losing the light out here. But don't lose the light inside, baby. Don't lose the light inside. Brandon Lewis here, walking with Brandon. Drinking with Brandon, BSing with Brandon, all the stuff combined into one fantastic thing. All right, guys, love you. Be good. Hey, don't eat any poison candy out there, okay? Check your apples for razor blades and all other 1980s warnings for Halloween that need apply. All right, guys, be good. Holler at you later.